So John, I'm a listing broker, for example, and I see this property and I realize, gosh, this could be a good development site. So I call you up, say,
Yeah.
John, here's my property, 123 Main Street, and what could be built here? Is
Mhm.
that what I say to you? And then what do you turn around to me, and in how many days?
So we stick to one business day. I think kind of my partner's staff or that my partner's firm is also kind of supporting the requests. And we picked up some more analysts. So about one business day. What the report covers has been a work in progress. So we initially wanted to provide some quick calculations, floor area ratio, your net buildable envelope, how many stories, what parking, and is this within a transit-oriented community zone, TOC, or would it default back to the state's density bonus program? But we've progressed. So I think a lot of the top producing brokers started to ask more and more questions, wanted more involvement, because what they were facing were developers now interested in their properties, but had a whole host of land use questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we started fielding those questions. We started getting on conference calls with those developers to answer those questions. So we're kind of delivering more than the initial land use report. We're also providing some consulting behind that. And
Okay.
obviously, yeah, that's for the pro members, which just has been geared more toward commercial brokers, where it's a paid subscription, a $250 a month to be a part of that.
Right. So if you're selling old property here in I don't know what any county, Orange, LA, San Diego, they should look at this, give you a call, and see what other potentials are here besides just what the existing use is. Is that correct?
Right. And we looked
Okay.
a little bit deeper into the code too. So there's another part of this I didn't mention, which is trying to figure out what kind of hurdles you're not seeing. So there might be a Q condition on it, a delimitation. There might be some weird nuance in the specific plan that then counteracts what the zoning is inherently telling you. And this is quite frequent or quite common in LA, unfortunately. So we're trying to get to that quicker, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
at a lower cost point. But we're also now starting a new partnership with an architecture firm here locally in LA.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be announcing that very soon. I'm sorry, I can't announce it here right yet, but
Yep.
what providing is what's called concept massing. And what that means is now, great, we provide development potential. You could build up to 150 units, but it's a skinny lot in downtown. Is that physically feasible? No. That's the job of the architect, to come in and actually start to mass it and give you highest and best use, or scenario 1 or 2 or 3 that you could kind of pick through based on the actual physical massing of it. We're partnering with them to provide that, again, at a lower cost point than going to them directly for this. So that's going to be launched here in a few weeks. And it's going to be through, obviously, initially getting the report on the site through us, which is step 1. But then that next step would just be, okay, well, I want to provide a little more value to the developer where they could go themselves to the architect, but the cost point still is going to be much higher if they go direct versus what we've just created, which is like kind of a slimmer down version of that massing model.
Right. Now, in your reports, do you guys talk to the city, the planning department, or is it all research that you guys find and dig up for your clients?
Great question. So yeah, we do a combination of everything. So some sites, we don't necessarily have to dig too much, and they're very vanilla. Pretty much, there's not going to be any impediment to what you're trying to do there. But a lot of times, there's again rules that I remember one site for one user requested in Miracle Mile, and they were like, "There's like 20 plus queue conditions," and they were all different.
I've been involved in one for a long time, and the queue is crazy. It's so complicated. Sometimes you can't. It's so hard to figure out these queue conditions.
Absolutely. So they came to us and they were like, well, which one applies here? And we were like, we don't know. And so we had to use my partner Alex's contact, which is kind of higher up in the planning department, to kind of get through that question quickly. So we obviously use the leverage of my partner's land use firm with the contacts he has at the cities.
Okay.
A lot of them are also ex-city planners. I realize that when you have that kind of call by someone that worked exactly where you're at, it's just
Yeah.
way faster to get to that answer than if you were some outside party trying to reach them directly.